Hi there, so we finished this orthographic drawing and now we're going to look at the dimensioning. Now there is a standard way that you do dimensioning, so anybody across the world, any engineer or manufacturer would better recognise your drawing, your dimensioning and understand it. So we're going to look at a few basic standards. I've done a few already. So down here we've got one here at the bottom which shows the width between those 2 points there. Okay, we're going to do some at the side and put them all around, but the idea is using the least amount of dimensions, you should better give all of the information. There's a couple of rules then. So we don't put any dimensions inside the drawing area. So we don't put any dimensions inside here or inside of here. Everything goes towards the outside. And you try and keep it as simple as possible. It's important to remember that when you're trying to dimension this stuff, it could get quite complicated, but you do get some of the information coming in over on this side. For example, the centre of that hole that we had, okay, that one there, I could put that information here. I could say how far away the centre is away from that edge. But I've already got a lot of information happening over here, so I'm going to do that over here instead. But let's look at a few basic standards. You see I've done this one down here. You'll notice that I always leave a 3mm gap. Everybody does that. Simple reason is we don't want the dimension, okay, to look like it's part of the drawing, so we've separated it. In an ideal world we'd have a slightly thinner pen as well, but we haven't got those here in school. So let's do this one first over here. Okay, as a little recap then, that there is 43mm. What I'm going to do is put my ruler or my set square on 0 on the line there. I'm going to start at 3mm. I'm going to draw all the way to 25mm. Same again. 0, 3mm to 25. And again there in the centre, because we've got to say how high that little step is on the wood. 3mm, 25. Now what I do, it's important before I go to the next step, I need to work out what I want to do next. Now the type of arrows that I like to do are these architect's ticks. Okay, so there is an overlap and an overhang. So you can see there's a 5mm outstand from the dimension line, and then do a 45-degree tick. That's the way I choose to do it. Some engineers use these circles, okay, and they highlight the fact that we're measuring from that point there to that point there. Most people do arrows, okay. Now I don't mind arrows, thin arrows are what we're after, not big playground arrows, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go with the architect's ticks because I think they look nice and professional, and I'm going to come in about 5mm away from the end, okay, measure 5mm overhang. That's what I'm after, and I'm going to put a very neat 45-degree line all the way through. Okay, so there I can now say how far it is from the bottom to that line and how far it is from that line to that line. If I add these, whatever these numbers are, if I add them up, I get the total height. Okay, so I don't need, some people go and put an extra one in that show the total height. You don't need to do that. Keep this simple. So a quick recap then. That one there is 22mm. Okay, now you notice how I've turned the page that way. You only ever read your dimensions from two directions, from the bottom of the page and from the right hand side of the page. Nobody will ever turn the page that way and write right there. Okay, that is wrong. Okay, second thing then, so these dimension lines, we're going to put our piece of text, our numbers, just above the line. Okay, not touching it, but just above the line, and preferably in the centre. So I'm going to take my ruler, make sure I'm happy. Okay, there's the centre, and I'll write 22. Okay, and we'll check in real life. Always measure from the real life thing. Okay, and that again is 22. And again, it's in the centre, hovering off the line. Brilliant, I'm happy with that. Now on this one as well, we could also show some other dimensions. So for example, I can show the overall width. So 0's there, start at 3, finish at 25. I'll do that one there. 0's on the picture, start at 3, finish at 25. So these are, by the way, these are called projection lines because you're projecting away from the actual picture. And then the line that actually has the number on it, okay, is nice and simple to remember. It's called the dimension line. Okay, so we've got projection lines which have the gap, and then you've got your dimension lines. Okay, so this one here, quickly check the dimension. That is 62mm. Again, we're going to go for the centre. It's this way around. 62. Okay, and again, architect's ticks. And I'm happy with that. So that's pretty much there. Now, like I said, I could show where that center line is, that center point is, but I'm not going to do that. I can do that over here. Okay, so I'm now looking at it from the top. If I say how far across this is, the center point, okay, it's exactly the same as doing it over here. So here we go. Just going to check that measurement. 25 millimeters. So that's that center point. And guess what? I've done that wrong. Okay, so that should have been that way around. Okay, what an idiot. Never mind. Okay, so that, remember, is wrong. $25. Okay. And that's pretty much it. So there's a few other things that we might want to think about. Okay, for example, these overhangs here, we haven't shown them yet. I could do them at the top. There's quite a bit of space in here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come inside. Okay, I'm going to use a pencil. Okay, I'm going to put another one in. This time I'm not going to go to 25 because I've already done the overall dimension. I'll make this one a little bit shorter and stop it at 15. Okay. I'm going to put in my dimension line. I'm going to pin up the projection line so you can see it. I'll obviously do it in pencil first. 1, 2, so that's inside, and I can measure that, and I already know that's 12 millimeters. That works nicely. Okay, I can do the same here. Now, here's quite an important thing. I'm trying to measure from that point there to that point there. Obviously, I can't do, my projection line can't touch it, so I've stopped at that point, but that's pretty obvious. Some people will take their projection line from there all the way along. We're not going to do that. We don't want anything inside our drawing space, so I'm going to go from that corner there. So there's 0, 3 to 25. I can continue my dimension line out like that. Okay, I can do that. Now, sometimes you don't think you might not be able to fit the numbers in there. So what I would do is continue the line over in one direction. Okay, and I could write 12 on there. Okay, and it's clear that it goes into that side there. Other bit of information we haven't included then, we've said where this is, okay, in terms of this direction, so it's 25 from that direction. We haven't said how far it is in this direction, so I could do that above. So let's do that. I'm turn it upside down. Okay, and this is from the end. So 0's on there, 3 to 25, 0's on there, 3 to 25. Okay, take your line across. Like that. Tick and tick. Again, remember to measure it in real life. That distance is 65 in the centre and just above the line. One final thing we haven't done yet, and that is the diameter of that one. Okay, the size of the circle. We know where the centre point is. We know it's 25 from the back. We know it's 65 from the left. Okay, we don't know exactly what size the circle is. So this is what I do. I draw from the diagonal. Okay, I come off at 45 degrees. You could get the set square for that. Okay, and I draw that to that point there. Okay, I draw an arrow and an arrow. So I'm showing that I'm measuring from the centre to the outside, which we know is the radius. Okay, I'm then going to draw a horizontal line because that's where my information is going to go. Remember, we always sit on a line. I'm going to draw this circle, okay, which obviously shows radius again. Okay, I'm going to show that that is 12.5. Again, it's sat on the line. And that's pretty much it. I'm happy with that. Another way of doing that is I could have done R12.5, okay, and that would have been radius. If I'd have done a diameter, my symbol would have been a line through at 25, or I could have gone D25, okay, but I prefer the little logo. The important thing is here, you'll notice I haven't done any measurements, units, okay. In the corner, you'd normally write all units in millimeters. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Thank you.